Hello, everybody. Today we are watching the Second Punic War by Oversimplified. If you saw before, you'll see that I've already reacted to the first Punic War, Part 1 and Part 2. I really enjoyed those two, and so now here we are on to the Second Punic War. I'm on a bit of a Oversimplified grind. I really like his content, and so we're just here showing our love, watching it. So we're just going to go ahead and get right into it without any more fuss. And yeah, let's go.
This video was made possible by NordVPN. Click the link below and get an exclusive deal with 4 extra months. Also, check out the merch store for some new character pins, the last remaining bucket plushies, and even a calendar. And I'm not done yet. We've partnered with U2s to bring you an exclusive Oversimplified Roman console
That's actually kind of cool. I don't have U2s, but like I would totally get one. I wonder if they still sell them.
It's limited edition. So once it's gone, it's gone. So go and buy it now.
Well, I'm screwed.
Hey, what are you still doing here? I said go and buy it now!
I can't, bro. It's the future. I wish I could.
All right, our beloved mercenaries. Let's hear it. Okay. Thank you one and all for your hard work fighting in the First Punic War.
Right.
Would have been nice if you'd won. Maybe tried a little harder. But this isn't the finger-pointing convention. I know you all have one thing on your minds. Hey,
rebellion.
When are we all getting paid?
Everybody beat up. Look at them. They.
Okay. Jim, why don't you tell them?
I'm
not telling them, you tell them.
Oh, they don't want to deliver the bad news.
Look, you're not getting paid.
What?
We lost the First Punic War and owe the Romans a ton of reparations. Of course we can't pay you in full.
Yeah, they do.
Let's burn this place to the ground!
I don't. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of how real life goes, right?
Don't burn this place to the ground. Come on, fellas.
Burn it with style.
Really make you feel better about your money? Yes.
Yeah.
Way to go, sir. Shut up, Jim. You're fired. I guess that makes 2 of us. Huh?
Oh, this one's gonna be crazy, especially after the ending to the last one.
Of the First Punic War, Carthage's disgruntled mercenaries, left unpaid for all their hard work, revolted, and Carthage found itself caught up in an extremely destructive mercenary war. The panicked Carthaginians hired more mercenaries to fight the mercenaries they couldn't afford to pay, and Carthage came dangerously close to collapse. All the while, across the water, there was Rome.
They chilling. They chilling.
We just kicked their ass in the First Punic War.
You did do that.
Their own mercenaries are revolting. Yeah. Wait, First Punic War? You mean there's going to be a second one? Well, we're definitely taking advantage of this situation. So almost certainly, yes. The Romans did, in fact, take advantage of the situation.
Of course they did.
Amongst the chaos, rebels on the Carthaginian island of Sardinia sent out a cry for help to Rome. Hot diggity dog, said the Romans. That's free real estate. And so in they went. Whoa. That's our island. Get the hell off. Hey, they requested our help. We're simply helping.
Right.
Look, we're sending our own army to deal with the rebels, okay? But just to be clear, we're not trying to start a fight with you, so, don't declare war on us or anything. War! We surrender! Great. And as part of the peace treaty, we get to keep these islands.
No!
The Carthaginians were hopping mad, as if their humiliating loss in the First Punic War wasn't bad enough. The Romans...
Bro, the Romans are straight bullying them right now. They need to relax, because it's going to be their downfall. Or not, I don't know. But based on how he foreshadowed Hannibal in the last one, might be.
Now took advantage of their mercenary problem and stole their islands. This shocking land grab was pretty hard to justify, even by Roman standards. Additionally, the Romans now demanded Carthage pay them even more money on top of what was already owed. If Rome was trying to make Carthage as mad...
I'm sorry, Rome reminds me right now of that SpongeBob meme. I don't need it. I don't need it. I need it. I'm sorry.
Even more money on top of what was already owed. If Rome was trying to make Carthage as mad as possible, they were doing a fantastic job.
Did I just say in real life? I mean, I wonder how much that is in today's money. Why did I say real life?
The seeds of a Second Punic War were being sown, and they were being watered with Carthaginian tears. Resentment in Carthage only continued to grow. Eventually, Carthage solved their mercenary problem thanks to
Okay.
Carthaginian military genius and
Jeez.
hero of the
Sir,
First
relax.
Punic War, Hamilcar Barca. He sorted those naughty mercenaries out with some good old-fashioned atrocities.
Okay, why you gotta beat him
and
like
the
that?
destructive mercenary war was over.
Yay.
Still, all was not well in Carthage.
We
Mere
won a minor
decades
war.
ago, they were the top dogs in the Western Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Now, after the crushing defeat in the First Punic War and a huge bill to pay the Romans, Carthage was well and truly under Rome's thumb.
Okay.
What on earth were they supposed to do? If they wanted any chance at regaining their former strength, there was one thing they needed now, more than anything.
Death.
Money.
Oh.
But as long as they owed Rome $1 bazillion, there was nothing they could do. Fortunately for them, amongst their ranks, there was one big hunk of a man with one big clump of a brain. Me, Hamilcar Barca.
Hamilcar.
Yes. Wait, why do you all have the exact same voice?
That's a good question.
I have it too.
Oh, that's also-
right. Hero of the First Punic War, greatest
Yeah.
general alive, and the
Yeah.
poster above my bed. Hamilcar Barca had an idea. All right.
Oh, he had a
We need
dream.
Money? Well, I've got one word for you. Spain. An
Okay.
area filled with lucrative silver mines, from
Okay.
which the silver would flow like a river,
Poet?
and our pockets would be stuffed, like
Okay.
Tony's mother at a buffet. Hey,
Oh.
so here's my proposal. You
Tony?
send me with an army to Spain. I'll expand our territory, get those silver mines up and running, and we'll be able to pay the Romans back in no time. Okay, but just to check, you're not secretly raising the money to go on a bloodthirsty revenge spree against Rome, are you? Because we can't afford that. Hanno, my dear, I'm simply going to pay them back. Well, that wasn't reassuring. Few
That
in
was
Carthage
not.
were as bitter about their loss in the First Punic War as Hamilcar Barca. 98%
I'm sure.
of his brain matter had been reallocated to thoughts of revenge. He was also
mean,
fed up with the Carthaginian
that's how you wanna spend your
politicians
time.
for what he deemed a cowardly betrayal when they surrendered at the end of the last war.
I
And
mean,
so
they didn't
for
have much of a
Hamilcar,
choice.
Going to Spain
kinda screwed.
meant being able to act independently from the weak Carthaginian government, building his own strength, and then perhaps somewhere down the line, revenge. However,
Okay.
he wasn't going to Spain by himself. Hannibal? Yes, father?
Oh.
Would you like to come with me to build an empire in Spain?
Oh.
Oh boy, would I! Barbara, mind if I take our 9-year-old son with me? I want to implant an intense hatred of Rome in him and prepare him for a glorious campaign of vengeance. Just try not to traumatize him, dear. No promises.
Yeah, I was
The
about to say,
young
what
boy
about that? It's
Hannibal
not
would
traumatizing.
accompany his father, watching, learning. Boy, you see that city over there? Yes, father? That is Rome. Do you know what we do to Romans? No, father. We
eat them.
hate them,
I'm
Hannibal.
sorry.
We hate them with every fiber of our being. But why, father? Can't I just play with my Digimons?
No.
son. They took everything from us.
Yes.
Our land,
Yes.
our wealth,
Yes.
our pride.
Yes.
Those animals. I'll
Yes.
tear them limb from limb. I'll
Yes.
burn their pathetic city to the ground.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Dad? I'm sorry, son.
Oh my
I've
gosh.
just never been so proud.
Okay.
Keep going. I'll slaughter their people.
Okay.
I'll cut
bro.
off their faces and wear them as masks.
Okay.
After taking Hannibal to the Temple of Baal and having him swear an oath never to be a friend of Rome, off dad and son went for their lovely beach holiday in Spain. But Spain was already
my
inhabited
camera.
by
Hello?
many tribespeople.
Oh, there
And
it
when
is.
Hamilcar suddenly showed up in their territory, they were like, "Hey, who the hell are you? What are you
Right.
doing here?" "I'm teaching my son how to become
Get
a
off my
warrior like
lawn.
me." Aw, well that's sweet.
That is sweet.
Well then, little guy.
They're gonna kill
let's
you,
see
sir.
what you got.
Yeah. Oh.
Good boy. As Hamilcar got
You
to
didn't
work
have to
fighting
do
the
that to
tribes
him.
of
Hey, hold on.
Iberia
What did he just eat? I'm sorry.
Good boy.
Okay.
As
Did you just
Hamilcar
feed him a
got to work
dog
fighting the
treat?
tribes of Iberia and expanding Carthaginian influence, Hannibal became a child of war, even earning battle scars from a young age. And
Oh.
he grew to become a great military
Oh my
leader
gosh.
himself, making his father very proud. "I love you so much, son."
Yeah.
"Dad, not in front of the enemy.
Right. Yeah. Relax, father. Oh.
You killed that guy so well,
Oh my
son."
gosh.
The Barcas successfully consolidated
You're embarrassing me in front of my
Carthaginian power,
friends,
got
Dad.
those silver mines up and running.
You're embarrassing me in front of my enemies, Dad. I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know what
And
that
we're
was.
sending buckets of cash back to a money-starved Carthage. And symbolizing Carthage's regrowing strength, a beautiful new city would eventually be founded in Spain. New Carthage, with a magnificent palace at its center. Carthage is back, baby!
I'm sorry, I don't like the hand motions I'm doing.
Apollo is going on here.
Good question.
Romans. Flowing silver mines? Dancing elephants?
Oh.
What are you up to, Hamilcar? I'm simply gathering the money to pay you back. Oh. Well, okay then. Or are you rebuilding strength to go on a bloodthirsty revenge spree?
That's
like
something.
I said, Claudius, I'm simply trying to pay you back. Aw. You guys are hugging.
Oh my gosh.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh.
I was hugging.
Oh. Oh.
Hamilcar
Oh.
had practically carved out a kingdom for himself in Spain, free from the meddling Carthaginian politicians. His power
Of course.
was becoming immense. But Dad, guess my son?
Immense.
I'm confused. Are we really simply paying the Romans back?
Of course
We're not
not.
going to go on a bloodthirsty revenge spree?
Son, have
Of
you learned
course
nothing?
we are.
Exactly.
I'm just saying that to get the Romans off our backs. Listen,
It's called lying,
here's the
son.
most important life lesson I have for
When
you.
in doubt.
Vengeance is
Oh.
everything. An all-encompassing thirst for vengeance is great for your mental health.
Is
Are
it?
you still confused? No, I get it now. But what if the Romans find out what we're up to? They
Then
won't
you're gonna
find
die.
out. Why? Well, Hannibal, because I use NordVPN. I'm confused again. Do you like your computer being hacked? All your passwords
He sets
being
it up very
stolen,
well. I'm sorry, I'm skipping. It's old.
VPN allows you to website territory, and if VPN huge slash so Carthaginian tears. A child. Where were we? Oh yeah, Carthaginian tears. A child
Yes.
of war. And
Yes.
the Carthaginian conquest.
When he said a child of war, I honestly thought a child slave. I'm sorry, I don't know.
Of Spain. The Carthaginian recovery had been staggeringly quick, and Rome was seriously alarmed. But they were
Yeah,
also
they don't like that.
preoccupied
They're
with
like,
ongoing
yeah.
wars elsewhere.
They're like, I'm glad you're paying me back, but I don't like how quickly you're doing it. And that just doesn't feel right to me. The wars in Illyria and conflict with northern Celts.
Including an
Celtics?
expansionist war
Is
to
that
the
a
north,
thing?
where they were enslaving thousands of
Of
northern
course.
Celts.
Celts.
So for now,
I'm sorry.
to keep Carthage in check, the Romans insisted on a new treaty. See this river?
Mm-hmm.
The two sides agreed that everything above it was in Rome's sphere of influence,
Right.
while beneath it was Carthage. Under no circumstances were the Carthaginians to expand north of
Right.
that river. But for now, Hamilcar and son were living
demilitarized
it up.
zone.
Well, son, here's to many more years of successful campaigning in Spain. Now, if you'll excuse me, I just have to go fight those guys. See you later, son.
He's gonna
I
die,
love
isn't he?
you.
Yeah. I
What
felt that
the-
was coming.
Oh, crap. I drowned?
Oh.
Well. Always remember, son. You are vengeance. Also, delete my browsing history.
Oh, yeah,
Hamilcar
probably won't do
Barca
that.
was
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Bat Freak. I'm sorry. I need to relax.
Also, delete my browsing history.
Do that.
Hamilcar Barca was tragically ambushed at a river and drowned. His son-in-law, and possibly also his lover, no further questions,
Wait,
took charge
wait,
for a while.
wait,
But
what?
he too was later assassinated,
Oh.
leaving finally at 26-year-old Hannibal
So he
in
cheated on his
charge
wife.
of the Carthaginian armies in Spain.
Or wait, did he
Sources
say
say the
son-in-law?
men readily accepted him as their leader.
Of course they
He
did.
chose to suffer the same hardships as his men.
Oh.
He lived in the same conditions, was often the first into battle, and the
Oh.
last one out. And it also
That's pretty
helped
good.
that he looked a lot like his dad.
Of course.
He had the total respect of his men. If he said jump, they said how high.
Of
If
course.
he said tuck me in, they said how tight. If he
Okay.
said talk to a girl without peeing your pants,
Oh.
they said that's impossible. Nobody can do that. An army that would follow him
course.
anywhere would be crucial for exacting his vengeance against
Loyalty.
Rome. Hannibal's army had become a strong and loyal fighting force,
Getting
and that was making a certain
sorry.
nation very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I would be
Seeing
getting I would have gotten
Carthage
uncomfortable a
re-strengthened so
long
quickly
time ago.
was not something Rome had expected. Yet here they were,
Yeah,
paying
here
off
they
their
are.
debts and expanding their territory. It didn't feel very much like Carthage was under Rome's thumb at all. and Rome wanted to put an end to it.
Yeah.
Tensions were strung tighter than your liar's G-string, and all it would take was one incident
Powder
to
keg.
trigger all-out war.
Oh,
And in 219 BC,
I'm scared.
a city in Spain would find itself at the very center of that fateful
Uh-oh.
incident, Saguntum.
Oh.
Remember that treaty declaring everything south of this river to be Carthage's sphere?
I was about to ask, is Saguntum, what's the city in Spain with an M? Why can't I remember? Melbourne? No. I can't remember.
Of influence? Well, Saguntum should therefore obviously be Carthaginian,
Mozambique?
right?
No. What? Mozambique? I don't have my phone right here,
Saguntum
so I can't
had
search it.
actually scored itself an informal alliance with Rome
Oh.
after Rome had helped it with an internal dispute. With Carthaginian encroachment, Saguntum began to fear for its independence, and Rome declared itself Saguntum's protector. But this clearly went against the Ebro River Treaty. So what on earth was Rome doing? Were
Yeah.
the Saguntines and the Romans truly just BFFs? It's possible. Or
Yeah.
was Rome deliberately trying to interfere with Hannibal's Spanish expansion and maintain
Yeah.
a staging post for a future war with Carthage?
Of course, is what they're doing.
More likely. And
Yeah.
Hannibal certainly viewed this Rome-Saguntum alliance as an outrage.
Oh,
Yet
he's not
another
happy about that.
example
His
of
veins are about
Roman
to implode.
arrogance. At first, he left Saguntum alone. But having learnt from his father to hate all things Roman and having
Yeah.
inherited his father's
Oh.
dream of bringing Rome to its knees
Oh.
more and more, Hannibal may have begun to see Saguntum as an opportunity. Could this controversial alliance be just what devilish little Hannibal needed to kickstart a
I
second
don't
war
like
with
that.
Rome
Please stop.
and
Oh, I don't like
restore
that.
Carthaginian
Oh, I don't like that. No,
dominance?
please get that off my
It's even
screen. Oh, I
possible
don't
that
like
Rome
that.
were
Oh.
also using Saguntum to goad Hannibal into a fight, so they could go and kick him out of Spain.
Yeah.
And as the two giants began gearing up for round two, the poor people of Saguntum had no idea that
I'm
they
sorry.
were about to be crushed in the collision. Hey, your alliance with Saguntum is an insult, and we won't stand for it. They're our friends, Hannibal, and if you lay a finger on them, it'll be
Oh.
an act of war. Yeah,
Oh.
Hannibal, back
Okay,
the
bro.
hell
Bro, you wanna
off.
back up. He's about to
War,
kill
eh?
you, bro. You
I
wanna
was
back up.
thinking I might just besiege their city and massacre their people.
Oh.
I hope you do, Hannibal. Find out what happens. Yeah, we hope you do, Hannibal. Wait, what?
You're right. Hold up.
Go
Wait,
ahead.
wait.
Kill them all. Okay then. Fine. Okay, guess I'll do just that. Consul, we look forward to it. Consul, you're gonna protect us though, right,
No,
Consul?
no, he's not. No.
Consul.
Oh, you better run.
Oh no! Top
Yeah.
it all off when the Saguntine people made the genius decision of raiding into Carthaginian territory. Enough was enough. In an action that was guaranteed to provoke the Romans into war, Hannibal
Ah, crap.
besieged the city. The siege of Saguntum lasted 8 cruel months before
8
Hannibal
months?
broke through the city defenses and
My
turned
gosh.
Saguntum into a killing field.
War
It
lasted so
was a
long back
massacre.
then.
What the
I mean, it's still long now. Oh,
Tell me I didn't just catch you massacring our friends, the Sugantes. Well, Consul,
I mean, you
if
told
like
him to
the
do it, bro.
Sugantes so much, perhaps you should sug on these nuts.
oh, oh.
Hearing word
Yeah,
of the
I'm
attack
sorry.
on Saguntum, Rome was understandably in an uproar, and
Yeah.
all eyes were now fixated on what would happen next, as Rome sent a delegation to Carthage, led by one of the most highly esteemed Roman senators, Fabius Maximus. He
If I'm supposed to
demanded
know who
an
that is, I
answer
don't.
for Hannibal's sins. All right, listen up, scum. You've got a rogue general in Spain attacking a Roman ally. What are we supposed to do about it? Well, there shouldn't have even been a Roman ally in Spain. You're the aggressor here. Hand
Who?
Hannibal over to us as a criminal so we can punish him severely. No, yes,
Oh.
no, no. Look, I hold in the folds of my toga both peace and war.
Oh.
Which one should I let drop?
Oh,
Whichever one you want,
oh.
then
They
I
really said that?
choose.
Didn't need that.
The
Didn't need that
Second
visual.
Punic War had begun.
I'm sorry.
Pack it up, boys. We've got them. We already destroyed these clowns once, and we were
Barely.
the underdogs. Now
Barely.
we're the Overdogs? Hot dogs. Exactly.
The
This
hot
is gonna
dogs?
be easy. Here's the plan.
I don't think it's gonna be easy.
You take your army and sail straight for Carthage. Burn that city to the ground.
That's not where the real
And
power
Consul
center is, though.
Scipio, you just head on over to Iberia and make sure this Hannibal guy doesn't do anything crazy. I mean, what's he gonna do? Cross the Alps? We're going to
jinxed
what?
it.
Cross the Alps. We're going to what? I just told you, Hannibal will freeze to death. Trust me, Jerome. The Romans are expecting us to fight the same way we did last time, passively, taking no initiative. They think it's gonna be easy. So this time,
he's
we
not wrong.
have to be aggressive. We have to go on the attack. It sickens me to say this, but this time, we have to be a little more Roman.
Oh.
You mean we're gonna take
They
poops
just said
and
the
baths
Cardinals
together?
thing.
But I'm insecure about my hairy legs. No,
Oh.
I'm saying this time we're gonna take the
Did they do
fight to
that?
them. Think about it. Rome thinks they're simply going to invade us and win the war. So when they suddenly find themselves being invaded from the north, they'll freak out. Like Tony's mother when the buffet runs out
Bro,
of
what's
shrimp.
between Tony's
I
mother?
gotta admit, it's actually kind of genius. And my hairy
Yeah?
legs will insulate me from the cold. That's
Yeah.
the spirit. Hannibal, you have my sword.
Yeah.
And my spear.
Yeah.
And my legs.
Oh.
Ugh. Hannibal's
Yeah.
plan, a daring alpine trek to surprise the Romans, was a bold but risky strategy.
Yes, it is.
If it paid off, he could catch the Romans
no
with their
pants,
pants
huh?
down. But he could also end up losing a ton of men and supplies in the
Yeah.
hostile mountain conditions. Nevertheless, in 218 BC, with a fire in his eyes and some vengeance in his belly,
I assume he's probably going to make it, but like I'm just thinking about, because I know a little bit about the American Revolution. I'm just thinking about how hard it was for Washington in the 1700s, in the late 1700s, to deal with the winters in the U.S. during the Revolutionary War. And I'm just like, now he wants to cross. This guy Hannibal wants to cross a mountain and still try and fight the Romans. I don't know, it sounds a little iffy, especially all the way back then.
Hannibal brought his force of almost 100,000 men across the Ebro River.
100,000.
They
My
spent
gosh.
months on the road, trekking through the cold, hostile mountain conditions.
It's so crazy they have to do that because today we just invade by the ocean or send a bunch of transport ships. It's kind of crazy.
And when they finally reached the other side, they said, "Hooray! We did it! We crossed the Alps."
Yay.
No, those were the Pyrenees.
Oh,
Those are the Alps.
oh, you're screwed, bro. I don't know what you're going on about.
After
Yeah, I'd be
crossing
crying
the
too.
Pyrenees,
I'd be
the
like, nah,
army
I'm
then had to
good. But
pass
you're not
through
even halfway
southern
there.
Gaul, a vast territory filled with tribespeople, many of whom were hostile to Hannibal's presence. His journey to the Alps was an ordeal in itself, as he was
Right.
forced to fight his way through and
So you're
incurred
losing
pretty
men.
hefty losses before even reaching the mountains.
Yeah.
His plan was almost stopped in its tracks entirely, as the Roman
Almost.
consul Scipio, on his way to Iberia, discovered Hannibal was right on his
Oh.
doorstep. Suddenly, Hannibal's journey became a race as he rushed to get his massive army across the vast Rhone River before the Romans could intercept him. The crossing was chaotic, with the panicking elephants causing several men to drown. And the first combat of the war occurred when small scouting parties from each side encountered one another. When Scipio finally caught up to Hannibal's position, what he found was an
I'm
empty
so sorry.
Carthaginian camp. Hannibal had slipped through his fingers.
Crap.
The Roman consul Scipio felt the weight of the situation. Quite unbelievably, Hannibal was going to cross the
You need
Alps
to warn
into
Rome. You
Italy,
need to move,
and
my
the
boy.
Romans had no idea where he would emerge. For the first time, a Carthaginian force had the Roman homeland under threat. Scipio sent his men onto Iberia as planned, but he himself rushed home to raise a new army
Yeah,
so
I'm
that
like, you need
if
to hurry up and
Hannibal
get back to
survived
the
the
house.
crossing, Scipio would be there, waiting. Would you look at that, boys? We're here, the Alps. Although it is a little later than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of chilly. We'll set up camp here and wait for spring, right?
Nope.
It's way too cold, right,
Nope.
Hannibal?
Yeah, no. Because why would you do that?
Hannibal's famous crossing of the Alps was
Oh my gosh.
brutal. It was already autumn, and the men suffered
Bro, the
terribly.
fire is
It
frozen.
was cold. Men would fall off the sides of icy
Oh my gosh.
cliffs. They starved, they fell off the sides of icy cliffs. Some sources say they had to eat their pack animals and would finish off dying comrades in order to take their clothes for extra warmth.
Oh.
And then they would fall off the sides of icy cliffs.
Oh my gosh.
Imagine an army of 50,000 men with all of their horses, supplies,
You're
and
gonna have like
37
10,000 by the time this is over
trying
with.
to navigate the most hostile mountain range in Europe. And it wasn't just nature that they were up against. Tribespeople lived in the mountains,
Right.
and they couldn't believe what they were seeing.
Right,
A tribe
food,
approached
supplies?
Hannibal and said, "Hey man, geez, that's some nice armor. What is that,
Yeah.
gold? Man, I'd really like that armor. Hey boss, they've got food as well. Shut
Yeah.
up, be cool. Hey, why don't you let us guide you through this narrow gorge? We're not gonna kill you or nothing. Just walk right on through there. We're not gonna kill you.
Okay, stop saying it so many times.
We're not gonna kill you. Hannibal's
Yeah.
army were forced to fight their way through the gorge as massive boulders
Oh my
rained
gosh.
down on them from above. Some clever reorganization of his line helped them survive, and they were able to fend off the opportunistic tribes. But losses from the constant attacks were heavy. As the journey continued, men who went over the sides would get stuck on the ice sheets below and had to make a grisly choice between starving to death or just getting it over with. When the deeply demoralized army reached the summit and rested for a couple days, Hannibal tried to lift their spirits with a rousing speech. Look, men, down there, it's Rome.
Right.
These plains stretching out in front of you are bountiful with food to eat and Romans to kill.
Okay.
Move, Bessie! Look, you have just climbed the walls of Rome. The hard part is over.
At this point, I feel like can't speak. I feel like he's gonna I feel like he's gonna surprise Rome. Obviously, catch him off guard for like a little bit. But once they get their crap together, they're gonna completely dominate you, bro. I mean, do you remember the last one where they're just sending out hundreds of thousands of men every time their ships went down in those storms, bro? It was ridiculous. So I'm like, I feel the same thing here. Like, you're gonna catch them off guard, obviously, but like, they're gonna regroup and then they're gonna kick your tail.
From here on out, it's all downhill, and nobody else will die.
You saying it's all downhill is
Except for them.
terrible.
The rest of us here, no one dies.
Nope.
Starting now. Okay,
Okay.
let's go. Oh, for goodness sake!
Oh,
As it turned
yeah.
out, the descent was as deadly as the way up.
Oh, yeah, it'd
with
be
the
even
cold
more deadly.
Really starting to set in. The path became even more narrow, and at one point, the men spent
Road
3
work
days in
ahead.
the freezing cold
Clones.
repairing a collapsed road. When they finally reached the bottom, Hannibal said, "Look, guys, we did it."
But there's like nobody left.
Well, I thought it went really well. When Hannibal
Yeah.
left Spain, he had about 100,000 men. By the time he reached the Italian plains, his numbers had dwindled to about 26,000. He
I thought it was
now
gonna be
caught
even
in
less than
enemy
that, so-
territory, without a supply line or source of reinforcements. And any elephants who had survived to this point were almost certainly traumatized.
Oh gosh.
So what on earth was Hannibal up to? This supposed military genius had just led a starving and weakened army right into enemy territory.
Yeah.
Any modern general who lost half their men to mountains would be immediately fired and possibly even depantsed on live TV.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. While Hannibal may not have planned on losing quite so many men, he had almost certainly expected considerable losses, and he always had a plan for how to replace them. Need men? Northern Italy was full of men. Big, burly Celtic men. All the
Oh.
men Hannibal would ever need to
Yeah.
beat off Rome. These Celts were filled with resentment, having only recently been conquered by Rome.
That's
Hannibal
true.
hoped to be seen as a liberator, convince the Celts to cut ties
Alright,
with
alright,
Rome,
alright.
and instead join him in crushing
Oh,
Rome. That way, he could gain a source
Whack-a-mole.
of reinforcements and supplies right in Rome's backyard. But sir, in order to win the loyalty of the Celts, we would need to make a seriously favorable impression on them.
Yes, you
How do we
would.
get them to like us? Kill them. One of Hannibal's first actions in Italy was to obliterate a nearby tribe who wouldn't join him. This sent a clear message to all the other tribes. It was his wrath they should fear, not Rome's. The realization that a Carthaginian army had just invaded them must have been shocking for the Romans. But when they looked at this ragtag group broken by the Alps, they couldn't have felt very intimidated. However, Hannibal was now in Italy, and he was about to embark on one of the most astonishing
I think he's gonna
military
be over, but I have something to say.
campaigns in
I'm
all
probably gonna forget.
of human history. The Romans may not have known it yet, but there was now a monster loose in their territory, and he was vying for Roman blood.
Oh, here we go. I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous. I'm sorry. This was a great video. What I want to say at the end here is him sort of getting those people to fear him. I don't know if that's going to play over well. I mean, maybe I'm just tripping, but I don't think this can play over well because, you know, fear only gets you so far. Eventually, if you're going to bully them like that, killing their people, they're going to want to get you too. They're going to want to get you and the Romans. So I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, this one was good. We're going to watch the next one very soon. And yeah, this was very good. I liked it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to all the YouTube stuff. Let me know if there's anything else you would like to see other than Oversimplified. I mean, like, I'm going through Oversimplified. I love his stuff. The next one's 40 minutes long. Golly. But yeah, let me know if there's anything else you want to see. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace and love.